T-Rex having some oatmeal, Abby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does some down here. I got some chocolate.
Ew. Good morning. We have a visitor this morning. That big hairy dog. That's Tuna. He just wanders randomly through town. He's really good at escaping from his backyard. I hear some excited ducks ready to get out of bed. Good morning, girls. How are my hens this morning? This is Lily. She lives in the barn because she hates children. It's a good thing he's such a sweet boy. Because a great big dog like that wandering around town probably scares the poop out of a lot of people. Where's your camera? So we have got a new computer set up. This is going to be Hannah's computer where she's going to make movies. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a lot of steps to this, Hannah, so I won't teach you all the steps at once.
Now he's like, what to do? Goose.
He's waiting for someone to come play with him.
It's cold out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually gonna go play outside?
Sure.
So that's my
You can go with her. I'm having some problems figuring this out, so you can go with her if you want to.
Okay.
So we're having carbs and dairy today.
Okay.
Two things that we were trying to cut out. But you know what? We cut out the bread from Bethany and it didn't make any difference. So I've decided to choose my battles.
Just keep going with it?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll cut it out later.
Because bread, with her, I don't find a difference.
No, I don't either. I mean, sometimes I find a difference, but I think what's really triggering her symptoms right now is something else.
TV?
No, I think it's anxiety.
Oh, so like when something doesn't go right, she just...
Yeah, and I think that triggers her anxiety, and her anxiety triggers her ADHD. That's what I think is happening. So we need to work on the anxiety.
And not the food?
Yeah. Food will be important at some point. There we go. Now it's starting to boil. See?
Yeah.
See it boiling? And then I also need to preheat my oven.
But we don't need to worry about the food right now.
Yeah.
We need to worry about her anxiety.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Well,
And the way we're going to do that is help her understand that she doesn't have to be better than you at everything. Do you have that? When she's good at something, does it bother you?
well, sometimes when she finds something, it makes me, I don't know. I don't know what it makes me feel like.
All right then.
I just want to cut in for a second here. I know some people would say that I shouldn't talk about Bethany's medical condition with Hannah. And I understand that, absolutely. But I'm trying something else. I talk very openly with the girls about my mental health. I talk about it the way I would about my physical health. I would tell them, I do tell them, I had a mastectomy. Here's my scars. This is why I did it. So I will also tell them, I have anxiety. This is what makes it worse. This is what makes it better. I want to normalize the fact that everybody has their problems that they need to carry. I think it's so easy for people to feel like an outsider because they're struggling and it seems like everyone else is doing fine. I want my girls to know that like everyone has hard things. They're different hard things. Maybe the thing that you find hard, I'll find easy, but the thing that I find hard, you'll find easy. I want them to know that it's not a competition and I'm not competing with you. We're all struggling together to overcome these things that are difficult. And if I can help you in any way, then I will. And if you can help me in any way, and the best way to do that is to communicate and be open about what's going on with us. To me, that seems like how healthy relationships work. So I talked to Hannah about Bethany's ADHD because I want Hannah to understand her ADHD, to understand Bethany's behaviors, to understand what helps and what makes it worse. And then as Hannah gets more and more comfortable with us, we will talk about Hannah's anxiety and what causes it and what helps it and all those sorts of things. And if we are all aware of each other and we communicate with each other about our needs, we'll have much healthier relationships. Anyways, this is a theory. I'm testing it out with these children as my guinea pigs. I'll let you know how it goes.
Iron, nickel, and cobalt.
Look how much I picked up.
Nice.
Hey, this is like hockey.
Yeah, you ready for bed, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hannah decided that her project for the winter is that she wants to start her own YouTube channel. So we set her up with her own computer and we put on the video editing software and we got her an old cell phone that she can use to make videos with. She's really excited about it and really keen. And as soon as I got her set up, Bethany said she wants to do it too. So have a look at what's going on. Cooking dinner again. When you unschool, the idea is you let the child's interests drive what you do. And I wholeheartedly agree with that idea. I think that everyone learns better when they're engaged. And if you're not interested in something, then you can't be engaged. So a big part of that is trying to accommodate when they request something. So if they say, I want to do A, I do my best to try and let them try out that thing. So as the cold weather comes, we talked about a few different sort of cold weather activities that we could do inside things. And we came up with some really good plans. The YouTubing was one of them. Bethany wants to learn how to read so that by spring she wants to be able to read the How to Train Your Dragon books. And they both wanted to do some crafting. We went through a bunch of different ideas and they told me what they were interested in trying, and I went out and bought a few supplies. Not a lot. I don't invest in something new I don't invest in something new. I wait until I know for sure that they like it before I spend more money on it. But I just bought a few little things that weren't too expensive. And then yesterday we started trying out all these different things. The problem is their attention spans are ridiculous. It makes me crazy. In the length of time it takes me to teach them activity A, they've already grown bored of activity A and moved on to activity B, and sometimes even activity C. Now, Hannah's not so bad. I can actually teach her how to do something and then set her aside and she can progress on it on her own. But, like, Bethany will say, I want to use a long loom. And by the time I have the long loom out, she's already saying, I want to make a movie. I want to do some baking. I want to watch TV. I want to, like, she's moved on to like 6 other things. This is an ADHD thing. 100% absolutely an ADHD thing, and I recognize that. And I'm trying to be patient, but it's really getting to me. We never finish anything. We never really even start anything. Let me show you how many projects we started yesterday, and none of them are finished. This is the finger knitting that Bethany did. Hannah started this bracelet, which actually went pretty far. Bethany was going to make one too. She got as far as picking out the colors. That was it. This is the long loom scarf that Hannah's been working on. Bethany started one too, but it didn't last very long. And this is the plastic canvas that Hannah was doing a popsicle and Bethany was doing a cupcake. I'm a person who likes order and organization, and I'm a person who likes to complete things. I want the house to be clean at the end of the day. So this is something I have to get over. I have to get over this idea that the house can be clean, that I can put away what they're doing at the end of the day, and we can start fresh the next day. And I recognize that. But I think another part of the problem for me is Bethany will be really into something, and she'll really want to do it, but then she'll never come back to it. She'll set it aside and move on to other things, and then never come back to it. So I have, honestly, drawers full of things that she has started and never finished. And I'm really torn on how to handle this. On the one hand, I don't want to push her to do things that she's not interested in. But on the other hand, I suspect maybe with her ADHD, she will never be able to finish anything unless I push her. So I'm still trying to find my way. I'm trying to find the balance for what to do in this situation. Now, I recognize that in some ways I'm kind of setting myself up for failure here, because I have this picture in my mind of them having their projects and me having my projects, and us all hanging out together in the cozy nice house while the snow blows outside and we all enjoy each other's company while we do our things that we're interested in. That's my picture in my mind. But of course that's not possible, because they don't stick with a project for more than 5 seconds. And I'm constantly setting up a new project. I'm threading a new needle. I'm printing a new picture. I'm finding a new set of paper. I just want like 2 or 3 projects that they can work on independently. And I know that they're young still, and that this will come with time. But I also think maybe it won't. I don't know. With the ADHD, maybe it will never come with time. And I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And I need to be patient and take baby steps. Like maybe, take for instance the long loom. Maybe today I just introduce what the long loom looks like, and she'll come back to it again in a week. And I'll show how to thread it, and then she'll come back to it in a week, and then I'll show how to thread it and show how to loop it, and then she'll come back to it in a week and we'll do it again. So maybe by the end of the winter, she'll have projects that she's able to do on her own without my help. The other thing about Bethany's ADHD is the constant fiddling. her hands are always doing this. Whatever's nearby, she grabs and fiddles and puts down and doesn't, it's unconscious. She doesn't know that she's doing it. So she'll pick my stuff up and fiddle with it and put it down somewhere else and has no idea that she's even done it. So when I'm looking for it, she can't help me find it. She moves her stuff all the time. We've gotten her some fidget toys, but she puts them down and then can't find them. So that's a slightly flawed system. I imagine that some of these knitting and sewing and crafting techniques would be great ways to keep her hands busy. So I get out like a big ball of yarn and turn around, and in the 4 seconds that I've been doing something else, Bethany has taken the ball of yarn and just done this with it, and then like done this with it, so that it's in a knot tied around her. And I don't know if any of you are knitters out there, but you'll know what a nightmare it is when your ball of yarn gets tangled. So I find myself trying desperately not to lose my temper with her because she can't help it, and I know she can't help it. But oh my God, 18 years of this. I love her to bits. I love her so much, and she's so smart, and she's such an amazing person. But she's exhausting. And I know that if I think about all 18 years at once, I will be completely overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Rather, I need to just take it not even one day at a time, like one thing at a time. And that's the only way that we'll get through this. So thanks for hanging out with us today. Take care. See you next time.